Well, happy Monday, Madcap Toys fans. You are back in the toy barn. I hope you've had a fantastic 4th of July weekend and things are going great for you. But before we begin, if you haven't already, what are you doing? Subscribe to the Madcap Toys family. We want you to be a part of us. Also, make sure you hit the bell for all notifications because each and every time we upload content, of course, you're going to be the first to know, and comments, you know we love them. So just keep them on coming and coming, okay? All right, so things have been doing okay here over at the Toy Barn. We had some things that had happened overnight. And if you guys had watched the Friday video, we had talked about to where, well, it would be my yesterday evening would be a few days back from you from seeing the Friday video where we had where someone, and I read it to you guys, where they wanted to return 5 billion Silver Eagles that they bought more than 30 days ago. And we talked about that a little bit, and we talked also about the response that Daren gave late last evening for us, but for you would be a few days back. So I want to give you an update on that. So right after I filmed for Friday, went back into the house, and Daren, I had actually looked at the main account and I said, hey Daren, come here. There's a response from eBay. So he said, okay, what they have to say? So they had mentioned that the buyer started a return request, but we had the choice whether to accept the return even after the 37 plus days, or, this is the good part, we could decline the return and the return case be closed if we choose to, because of the fact it went over the 30-day window. So of course what we did is decline the return and gave our reasons as to why. And basically once we did that, eBay returned or closed the case, the return case, and shut it completely down. Because again, they had a 30-day window and they did not make mention of anything within that. Also, too, we had found out that this person is a reseller and does resell things like this. I believe, and like I said in the last video, that this person that does this drop shipping as to where they will utilize someone's items while they get sales from, you know, the items, and then they contact the seller, of course, to purchase. It comes to them. And then if they have issues with that, whatever it may be, then it comes back to you. What I told Daren is what I believe what happened is this person used this as a drop shipper. Everything thought was going well. We sent our brand new, non-scratched, beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated bullion eagles to this individual. This individual basically had us ship it to that individual. Well, what happens is the individual said, hey, they may have started a case on them. Hey, we don't like it. Or, you know, they want to return them. And instead of returning those 5 nice ones, they returned 5 ones with scratches and dings and all of that, like she showed us in the pictures. And so I think that took some time. So that took weeks, right? That person thought it was all said and done, and then they had trouble. So the only way that they could get their money back and get this junk, what they consider junk, gone, is to go against us. Well, again, those were the coins that she showed us in this return request were not the coins we shipped. And we verified that. And B, as well, again, over the 30-day window, there was no need for us to do anything because we had completed and fulfilled our obligation, and we sent out what was described and pictured. Let me know in the comments below if you've had something like that happen. But yeah, it was just odd that we were never told or ever received messages about this situation until that that last night. So it was just crazy. But yeah, everything's cool now. And eBay had shut down return request. All of that is shut down. She is unable to give us a negative feedback as she has threatened because eBay shut it down. And I think that's also why they are starting to make changes when it comes to buyer retaliatory feedback on sellers, is because there's just so much of this kind of stuff going on. And they do discourage drop shipping. But as I said in Friday, I know for a fact I've had eBay sellers or eBay buyers purchase stuff off of us due to the fact that they had sold it either on eBay themselves with our pictures or on another reselling site. So seen it very, very many of times, because they shout at the loudest when they say don't put any branding in the box, don't put your name, don't put an invoice, etc., because quote unquote it's a gift. I mean, it happens all of the time. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. And if you've experienced anything like this, we would love to hear from you. So guys, I'm continuing to figure out what I want to do for the month, as you guys are seeing this on July the 7th. But of course, for me today, it is actually the 1st of July. So before the 4th of July holiday. So I'm considering, like I had said in the last video, I'm going to try to do my very best into creating, at least for Madcap Toys Plus, we're going to do an experiment, because people are focusing on some Christmas items. I actually saw a couple of my YouTube friends actually doing some live auctions, some reselling Christmas today. So I thought, you know, it'd probably be a good time to maybe do some incentives, not only on seasonal Christmas and Halloween decorations, but also some Halloween costumes, things like that. See if I can push it, since we're at that 106-day window with Halloween and less than 200 days for Christmas. So that's what I'm going to figure out to do. Today I got in early getting some packing for fulfillment done, mostly media. Got a lot of media out, and I had to take two 16 by 8 by 12 boxes and get them to put together. Kind of did some what we call Frankenboxing here in the reselling world, to ship that Air Rover helicopter that Daren had sold. And we're going to talk about that helicopter in the upcoming video. So a lot of weird boxing that had to take place today and getting it taped around and so forth. But I think I finally got it good. It was within the standards and it was affordable. I could still ship it ground advantage. So I was super happy about that. So we're going to share with you in just a moment 13 items that sold on Madcap Toys Plus. But also just wanted to share with you some more information before we begin on that. What are your thoughts, though, in the third quarter? I know that, you know, we are in the thick of it. 7 months have gone by of 2025. Can you believe that? We're in the beginning of the third quarter. It just seems like it's a whirlwind, guys, that it just kind of just flew right by. So I'm just gathering my thoughts today, trying to figure out what to do. I know for us, our subscription fees were already pulled out today. And thank goodness we made a whopping number of sales. We didn't have to pay out from that. It just took from, you know, what we had there. And it looks like Madcap Toys Plus already on the first day is beating last month on the first day. So thumbs up on that. So just going to continue listing and listing and listing from there. But just trying to swing some ideas too, and also wanting to be careful on what we purchase as well here at the Toy Barn. You know, want to stick with what I know sells and what keeps on going, but also too don't want to you know, lose fact that we are Madcap Toys and we do sell toys, and trying to figure out what toys would best fit for not only for the holidays, but also throughout the year as well. So trying to figure out what suppliers are best. How can I get these items at a really decent price and sell them for a real awesome price? And also, you know, keep up and keep ahead of the competition. I know a lot of people were kind of talking about that today a little bit, as far as people feel like they don't want to just keep listing, but listing stuff that just is dead end and doesn't sell. It just sits there, that they're gathering so much inventory, but they're making so little because it's stuff that doesn't move. So it's a catch-22 balance, right, guys? I mean, especially when you want to make sure that, you know, you're selling items that are moving through rather quickly, but also getting the price that you deserve, right? The marginal prices for not only getting back what you paid for, but then some as well, right? That you are making those good margins and recouping those profits. You don't always want to have succumb to people that will take an item, you worked hard finding it, sourcing it, getting it together, making those pictures, the listing, and then someone tries to come along and then offer you $2 for a $12 item, and you don't want to just give it up just because you're so afraid that you'll never get that chance to sell that item again. It's just working through that system and working what you know. I know that for me and Daren, it was a big jump for us to start going at first into pallets. We had no idea, and we're very, very uneducated in the pallet world, knew nothing. And I remember we went to our very first pallet buy, oh my gosh, I think it was maybe about 4 years ago. It was right after the pandemic kind of ending. And it was scary business because we didn't know what it was going to do, how it was going to move. And so we were just very cautious. But you know what? I still have small bits and pieces of that very first pallet, but the majority of it is gone. We sold it all. And as we move along, you know, we're making sales on the pallets that we buy. We do have people that come in, as well as the yard sale stuff that we buy and the lots that people sell to us. All of these things, there's portions of things that have already gone and left the building there. And then, of course, we gathered into last year in doing media. We dipped our head into lots and lots of DVDs and Blu-rays. Then we went into CDs, cassette tapes, video games. And every day I'm selling some kind of, DVD, some kind of CD, some kind of video game all the time. And it's very consistent. So sometimes you just don't know when you go into other, categories and genres what it's going to be, but you just got to do your research. You just want to make sure that you get those items that are affordable and, that where you can compete with other people well, and then also that you don't keep something for hundreds and thousands of years, and it never sells and it continues to take space on the shelf. So it's, it can be a gamble. Reselling is a gamble a lot of times, but there are other ways to kind of utilize to kind of move things through. And that's what we're going to continue to do at Madcap Toys. And I know that you will too, but just keeping it out under a wrap, because I've even seen so many people, have lots and lots of storage units and pay bunches of money, and not making the money that they're seeing out of that. They're paying more into storage than they are in sales, and that's just not good business for anyone. And that's what I do want to avoid, is make sure that I'm not having such an empire that I can't afford to pay to keep the lights on, so to speak. So it's a catch-22, but like I said, everything is good here. The great news is here at Madcap Toys, this toy barn is paid for 110%, and it is connected to our lights and utilities. So again, 110%, no worries here. If we ever do outgrow the toy barn, like I told Daren, as soon as we can make that jump to getting into either a bigger barn or a warehouse, then we'll know the time has come. But of course, that money has to show up first, just like it does with you, wherever you resell and whatever you do. All right, I'm going to get to it. Let's go and talk about, where's my phone? There it is, about the 13 items that we sold on Madcap Toys Plus. It has been bountiful. It has been great. And Madcap Toys Plus actually did outperform the month prior. So it outperformed May by the end of June. So really, really did well. And I know, Daren has made some strides with Madcap Toys, but you know what? He's really made some strides with Macari as well. And we're going to be bringing up in the upcoming week sales on Macari. I actually have 4 pending orders on Macari as of today that we're going to need to find in the next 24 hours to get all of those out. So super excited on what Macari has been doing the last few weeks. It's been phenomenal. Very first one from a clothing palette, clothing sells. This cool pink ladies sweatshirt from Grease. You guys watch Grease in the 80s? I can remember going to my uncle's house, staying a couple of nights, sitting in his swiveling recliner and singing and watching Grease when it was out for the very first time. Women's Grease Paramount pink ladies graphic sweatshirt, size 3X. And I have 3 of those sweatshirts left and got positive feedback on this one. Did really good. It sold for $21.95 plus shipping to boot. Very, very good for that. Yeah, I love when I sell my Grease sweatshirts. They sell really good. And again, have a few left, and then we're all sold out here at Madcap Toys on that one. Flipping the page here. Going all the way down to the bottom. All right. Next up, this book. I actually got it from a yard sale. I paid only $0.25. And I got the best feedback on this book. They loved it that much. It was really awesome. This is from Avon Books. The Flame and the Flower by Kathleen E. Woodowitz. And this book sold for $6 plus ship. Very good. All right, and moving right ahead from our clothing palette, we sold a long sleeve shirt. Again, guys, never underestimate the power of selling winter clothes in the summer, right? And selling summer clothes in the winter. It happens. This is another long sleeve. Remember yesterday that I had a long sleeve dress that I sold, or the last video that you saw on Friday. Again, more long sleeve happening here. Men's standard long sleeve t-shirt from Goodfellow and Company, color black, size medium. Found in the frosty bag. We have, oh, we don't have any more of those. That's a sellout, guys. And this shirt sold for $8.99 plus ship. Only paid $1 for it, guys. That is a big turnaround. Love it. And we keep selling these at Madcap Toys all the time. Sold another one of these. Have 26 of these available. From Maybelline. Expert Tools Brush and Comb 2-pack, brand new in box. That box has made me a killing. It was found on River Shelf 3. Still have plenty left to sell, like I said. It's doing really, really good. And it sold for $11.95 free ship. But of course, I made a little over $4.71 just for that one little tiny pack. So again, I've calculated it by the time I sell the rest of those Maybellines, I will have made nearly $150 on just this little teeny tiny box. I'm just so happy about that. And next up, we sell media here. Heartland, the complete first season. This was found on Adam's Shelf 2. And this season sold for $7.99 plus ship. Very good. Paid probably 50 cents to $1 for it. And made that great turnaround. And next up, we sold a CD. This is from Pink Floyd CD from 1994. Wish You Were Here. Found, of course, on the media shelf. Got positive feedback on this one. I love it. And it sold for $7.99 plus ship. You can hear our traffic back in the back there. I've got the fan going and it's just a running back there. And next up, more CD, more media there. Planet X Live from Oz CD. Found on the media shelf. Another great feedback on this one. And this one did really, really good. So only paying about 50 cents for this CD. We sold it for $19.99 plus ship. So when you're listing those CDs and DVDs and 8-tracks and cassettes, be sure to comp them before you list them, because you're going to find some gems. Randomly, most of the time, about 95% of the time or more, you know, I throw up a price as long as it's in pretty decent condition for about $6.99. But in this case, this one was a gem, sought after, and I got the $19.99 plus, guys, so I'm very, very thrilled with that. And then Intimate Wear always sells. You guys see it all the time. This came from a Target pallet. Hanes Big Girl Seamless Comfort Flex Fit Cozy Pullover Bra. A 2-pack size medium. And they sold for $7.99 plus ship. And Daren, you know what? Recently, when we went to a yard sale about 2 to 3 weeks ago, he found a bunch of yarn. I was like, oh no, because a lot of them were like older where they had the bands ripped off of them and stuff. But there were several of them as well that had the skeins on them and looked really fresh and new. He didn't pay a lot for the whole box. I think it was like 10 bucks or something. But out of that box, we sold a pair of these. So I was really thrilled. Lion brand yarns, wool ease, thick and quick. They call it Fisherman Color. It looks like to me like an ivory color or so forth. They got 2 skeins of that. And yeah, it sold for $13.99 plus ship, and was really, really nice. Again, we have, I think, a few that I've listed already that I've got put up on shelves. I have some more that I need to get done. But yeah, it really showed for itself how well it's doing. And, you know, yarn sells, especially when it's new. So if you can get it at a really, really low price somewhere, and it smells good and it looks good and it doesn't look too used or not used at all, try it out. Next up, a CD from 1993. Modern Life is Rubbish by Blur. Found on the media shelf. This CD sold for $7.99 plus ship. Still up a little bit grade from the average $6.99. Nice. And another CD sold. Amaryllis by Shinedown from 2012. Found, of course, in the media. We're about to call it Toy Barn / Media Barn around here, so lots of media. And this sold for regular price, $6.99 plus ship. And then I took a chance on this. I found this at a yard sale. This is, of course, Taylor Swift's 1989 Taylor's version. All of these CDs were sealed. And she had, I think she had about, $10 a piece on them, I think. And I asked her, I said, okay, because she had some other Taylor CDs, but they weren't sealed and had some other things. And I said, okay, I said, I know I'm asking a lot here, but would you go 5 a piece? That means I'll pay you $20 in cash right now for 4 of these CDs. And she kind of hemmed a little bit, and she looked at me and she goes, yeah, I'll do it. So I paid her 20 bucks. And I decided to lot these up to make it quicker and easier. Already had them, after I took a lot of pictures of them, had them packed in bubble wrap and then put in a priority mailbox. And then just threw it on a shelf till it sold. And it sold pretty quickly. And, of course, this is, like I said, her album 1989. Taylor's version, of course. 4 CDs, brand new sealed. Positive feedback, by the way. And they took a deal, and I sold it for $29.99 plus ship. So I didn't make a lot of money on it. I got my money back and just a wee little bit over, not much. But it was a quick deal. It was a quick sale, and you know, we made profit. And sometimes when you're wanting to move stuff, that's what matters, is the profit there. So I knew I wasn't going to make a lot. I thought I was going to make a little bit more when I bought it, but when I got home and comped it, I was like, okay, I should have left those possibly there, but it moved through. It did well, so I was happy. And then lastly, another CD. Lots of media today. Quiet Storm, In the Midst of the Storm CD. And this one sold regular price, $6.99 plus shipping to boot. So that is the 13 items on Madcap Toys Plus, and still have a ton that are not only been shipped out, but pending, as well as we have some to talk about at Macari and Poshmark and Madcap Toys as well. So I'm not going to, keep you too long here. I've got lots to do when it comes to listing. I didn't get to list last night. Nobody's fault but mine. After I did a lot of editing with the videos and just doing a lot of fixing on things. I did more testing with the insurance, did some testing today. I was exhausted. It was almost midnight, and I looked at the clock and I was like, it was 11:40 at night. I thought, I need to, I'm not feeling too well. I need to just get off here and rest. And that's exactly what I did. So, I'm hoping, since it's early right now, it should be, it's not early, it's after 5 here, up 7:50, to have enough time to be able to take a shower, because I've already fulfilled already, and get ready to get some pictures and list a few items. So Daren's got all of his done for the day, so all he's got to do is enjoy the rest of the evening and recoup, because he still has some allergy issues going on, and he's been taking meds and relaxing a little bit. So I don't have much else to say, but you guys have been fantastic, and until next time, bye-bye.